You feel it, that ache, the gnawing emptiness. It's the pain of being unseen, unheard. You stand in a crowded room, faces blur, voices fade, yet no one truly sees you. Not the real you, the one with the fire in your belly, the one with the dreams in your eyes. They see a ghost, a shadow, and it hurts, a deep primal wound. You've poured your heart out, offered your best, only to have it met with silence, with indifference. It's like shouting into a void. Your words echo back unanswered, your efforts unnoticed. This invisibility, it's a heavy cloak. It smothers your spirit. It dims your light. You question yourself. Am I not enough? Am I not worthy? The world keeps spinning. Life goes on, but you feel stuck, frozen, trapped in a reality where your existence is a whisper no one bothers to hear. This is the crucible, the fire that refines, the pain of being overlooked. It's not a punishment. It's a preparation. It strips away the superficial, the need for applause. It forces you inward, to the core of your being, where true strength resides, where authentic purpose is forged. You've been underestimated, dismissed. People have underestimated your resilience, your capacity. They've looked at your struggles, your moments of doubt, and they've written you off, declared you too weak, too broken, too ordinary. But they don't know your history. They don't know your fight. They haven't walked in your shoes, felt your scars. You carry the weight of battles fought in silence. Victories won when no one was watching. This is the burden of the uncommon, the weight of the chosen. You are not meant for the shallow, the ordinary. Your soul craves depth. Your spirit yearns for meaning. But the world, in its blindness, tries to fit you into its mold. It demands conformity. It rewards the predictable. And when you refuse to shrink, when you refuse to blend, you become an anomaly, a disruption. And disruptions are often ignored, or worse, feared. This feeling of being a stranger in a familiar land, it's a constant companion, a silent observer. You see the world with a clarity others lack. You perceive the hidden currents, the unspoken truths, but your insights are often met with skepticism, with resistance. They prefer the comfort of their illusions, the safety of their ignorance. So you learn to hold your vision close, to guard your knowing. You become a solitary lighthouse, shining your beam into the darkness, even when the ships refuse to see your light. This isolation, it can feel like a curse, a lonely existence, a path walked alone, but it's also where your power grows. Your discernment sharpens. You learn to trust your inner compass, to rely on your own intuition. Because when the external validation is absent, the internal validation becomes paramount. You've witnessed betrayals, felt the sting of broken trust, loved ones who turned their backs, friends who vanished. These wounds run deep. They leave indelible marks. They teach you the harsh lessons of human frailty and the profound importance of loyalty, of integrity. You've learned that true strength isn't about never falling. It's about getting up every single time. Even when your knees are bruised, even when your spirit is weary, you rise because you must, because it's in your nature. This is the warrior's spirit. It's not born of comfort. It's forged in the fires of adversity. It's honed in the silence of your struggles. You are not just a survivor. You are a thriver. You have a purpose that transcends your pain, a destiny that awaits your fierce pursuit. The world may try to bury you, to forget you, but the seeds of greatness lie within you. They are waiting for the right conditions to bloom, and those conditions are being created right now, in this very moment of your deep reflection, in this quiet acknowledgement of your unseen battles. You are the David in the making, the shepherd boy facing the giant, the one underestimated by all, the one chosen by a higher power. You carry a spiritual anointing, rare, potent. It's not about fame. It's not about fortune. It's about a divine assignment, a sacred calling. This anointing, it's a burden and a blessing. It demands courage. It requires sacrifice. It calls you to step into your true power, to wield your gifts with unwavering conviction. Even when the world remains oblivious, even when the whispers of doubt try to pull you down, you are equipped, you are empowered, you are destined for something extraordinary. The pain of being invisible. It's the forge, the isolation. It's the training ground, the underestimation. It's the catalyst. It's all refining you, preparing you for the roar that is coming, for the moment when your voice will echo, when your light will blaze, when the world will finally see, and they will know. They will know that you were always there, waiting, growing, becoming. The warrior mantle, it's heavy, but you were born to wear it. You were built for this fight. Let the pain of the past fuel your future. Let the silence of the unnoticed ignite your roar. You are the chosen one. Step into your power. The world shouts for your attention. It demands you fit. It whispers compromises. But there is another call, a holy whisper. It beckons you away to a place of sacred solitude. This is not exile. This is elevation, divine isolation. It's the shepherd's pen, not a prison, a pasture where the flock is safe, where the wolf cannot tread. It's the mountain's peak, not a lonely summit, a vantage point where you see the battlefield, clear and unobstructed. David knew this. Before the lion, before Goliath, before the crown, he was in the wilderness with the sheep. He was alone, but he was not abandoned. He was prepared. The quiet forged his courage. The solitude sharpened his senses. He learned to listen to the rustle of leaves, to the breath of the wind, to the voice of the Almighty. You feel it too, that pull to step back from the clamor, from the crowd. It feels unnatural, a strange withdrawal. You question it. Is this a failing? A sign of weakness? No. It is the Father's hand, gently guiding you into his secret chamber. Think of the temple, the Holy of Holies, a place set apart, accessible only to the high priest on one day, in 1 year. It wasn't a punishment to be excluded. It was reverence. It was awe. It was the recognition of sacred space, a place where heaven and earth met. Your divine isolation is that sacred space. It's where the veil thins. It's where the whispers of God become roars. It's where your spirit is stripped bare of all pretense, of all distraction. You are exposed, yes, but you are also refined. Like gold in the furnace, the impurities burn away, leaving a pure, unblemished metal. This separation is your shield. It deflects the arrows of doubt. It deflects the poison of comparison. It deflects the seductive lies of the world. When you are in the crucible of his presence, the world's opinions lose their power. Their judgment becomes a distant echo. It's the ark, adrift on the waters, separated from the chaos, carried by a higher power, destined for a new beginning. The world outside raged, but inside the ark there was peace, a profound, unsettling peace. That's the nature of divine isolation. It's a sanctuary within the storm. You are being quarantined, not from life, but from the noise that drowns out life, from the superficialities that choke the spirit. This season of being set apart is a spiritual detox. It's a recalibration of your soul. You are being retuned. to the frequency of heaven. The enemy wants you scattered, divided, weakened by division. He wants you lost in the marketplace, bargaining your birthright for trinkets. But divine isolation regathers you. It concentrates your focus. It strengthens your core. It makes you a fortress, unassailable. This isn't about being antisocial. It's about being pro-eternal. It's about understanding that the deepest truths are found in stillness, that the greatest strength is cultivated in silence, that the most profound encounters happen when you're alone with Him. The desert blooms, the wilderness produces fruit, the solitary soul flourishes when it is planted by the rivers of His grace, when it is watered by the tears of surrender, when it is bathed in the light of His countenance. Your time apart is a sacred gestation, a period of unseen growth, like a seed buried deep in the earth. It's dark, it's quiet, it feels like nothing is happening, but beneath the surface a miracle is unfolding. Roots are deepening, potential is gathering, a new life is preparing to break forth. Don't resent the quiet, don't fear the solitude, embrace it. For in this divine isolation, you are being forged, you are being prepared, you are being equipped. For the battles ahead, for the victories to come, you are being made ready to carry the mantle, to bear the anointing, to walk in the power of the King. Solitude, it echoes in the stillness, a sacred space, not an empty room, but a holy ground, where the soul can breathe, where God's whisper becomes a roar. You are not alone, even in the quiet, especially in the quiet. This is divine isolation, a deliberate setting apart, not a punishment, but a profound protection. Think of the shepherd, alone on the mountain, watching the flock. The world below is chaos, noise, distraction, but up there, clarity, focus. His senses sharpened, his ears tuned to the faintest bleat, his eyes scanning the horizon for danger. God does this to us. He pulls us aside, away from the clamor, away from the blinding lights. He places us on the mountain, not to abandon us, but to equip us, to reveal Himself, to reveal ourselves. The world screams for your attention. It demands your energy. It pulls you in 1,000 directions, each demand a thief, stealing your peace, stealing your purpose. Divine isolation is the shield. It deflects the arrows of distraction. It creates a buffer zone, a sanctuary for your spirit. Consider the sculptor. He chips away at the stone, relentlessly, painstakingly, each strike precise, each removal deliberate. He's not destroying the rock. He's liberating the masterpiece within. He needs isolation for that, to hear the stone susukong, to feel its resistance, to unlock its hidden form. We are that stone, and God is the sculptor. He needs you in His workshop, away from the crowds, away from the opinions, away from the comparisons. He needs you in the quiet so He can chip away the excess, the distractions, the false identities. This setting apart is not a curse. It is a covenant, a sacred promise. He is not banishing you. He is drawing you closer, like a father calling his child into his arms, away from the rough play of the street, into the safety of His embrace. The enemy prowls. He seeks to devour. He thrives in the open field, where we are exposed, vulnerable. But in divine isolation, you are in God's fortress. The walls are His promises. The watchtowers are His watchful eyes. The gates are secured by His power. You may feel barren, like a desert landscape, but the desert holds ancient secrets. It's where the roots go deep, where resilience is forged, where life against all odds finds a way. Think of the prophet in the wilderness, stripped bare, hearing the voice, receiving the vision. The isolation was his crucible, his purification. When you are set apart, your spiritual senses heighten. You discern truth from deception. You recognize the enemy's whispers. You hear God's clear instruction. Your reliance shifts, no longer on the approval of others, no longer on the noise of the world, but solely on Him. It's a pruning, a necessary cutting back, to allow for deeper growth, to bear more fruit. The vine needs to be pruned to produce a richer harvest. The isolation is the pruning shears. It feels sharp, it may sting, but it leads to abundance. This is not about being lonely. It is about being consecrated, set apart for a holy purpose. It's the stillness before the breakthrough, the quiet before the storm of blessing, the space where faith is tested and where it emerges stronger. You are being prepared for a greater assignment, for a deeper walk. The world cannot prepare you for what God has planned. Only He can. And He does it in the sacred space of divine isolation. Embrace the quiet. It's where your strength is renewed. It's where your destiny is revealed. It's where you truly learn to walk with God. Alone, yet never forsaken. Protected, not punished. Set apart for His glory. It feels like a prison, a desolate land, where echoes are your only companions. But what if I told you this barrenness is fertile ground? What if this solitude is a sacred space? This is not abandonment. It is a divine redirection, a deliberate setting apart. Think of the finest steel. It doesn't emerge from the marketplace. It is forged in the hottest fire and quenched in the deepest water. King David knew this fire. He knew this water. He was a shepherd boy, sent to the wilderness. His days were spent under a vast, indifferent sky. His nights were filled with the howls of predators. He learned to fight. He learned to listen. He learned to trust a voice beyond the wind. This was not punishment. This was preparation. The world tried to forget him, but God was sharpening him. His triumphs were born in that crucible. His psalms were sung in that silence. He was learning the language of lions and the whispers of angels. He was being molded into the king he was destined to be. The anointing. It's not a cloak you wear in the crowd. It's a fire you carry in the dark. And the dark often finds you when you are alone, when the clamor of the world fades, when the opinions of men become distant static. That is when the voice of the Spirit becomes clear. That is when the anointing begins to burn. This isolation is a sanctuary, a place where the soul can breathe, a place where the masks can fall, where you can confront your own shadow and emerge stronger, like a seed buried in the earth. It seems lost, but within that darkness, a miracle is happening. It is gathering strength. It is pushing towards the light. This separation is not a sign of your failure. It is a testament to your potential. God doesn't send you into the desert to die. He sends you there to find your true self. He sends you there to hear His voice. Unfiltered. This solitude is a refining process. It strips away the dross. It burns away the impurities, leaving behind the pure gold of your spirit. David on the run from Saul, hiding in caves, living on the run. This was his divine isolation. He could have succumbed to despair. He could have cursed his fate. Instead, he wrote. He trusted. He allowed the isolation to carve him, to sculpt him, to etch the divine purpose into his very being. Consider the potter. He takes the shapeless clay and he places it on his wheel. He spins it. He molds it. Often the clay is pushed and pulled. It is stretched thin. It feels like it might tear apart. But this is the process of becoming. This is how the vessel takes its form. Your isolation is the potter's wheel. The spirit is the hand that guides. The trials are the pressure. The solitude is the space. Where the transformation occurs, it is a sacred workshop. Where your spiritual mantle is being woven, thread by thread, in the silence. You learn the deep lessons, the ones that cannot be taught in a lecture hall, the ones that can only be learned in the crucible of your own soul. You learn resilience. You learn patience. You learn the art of unwavering faith. When there is no one else to lean on, you discover the strength that lies within, a strength that is not your own, but a strength that flows from the divine source. This separation is a shield. It protects you from the compromises of the crowd, from the temptations of conformity, from the noise that drowns out the still small voice. It keeps you pure. It keeps you focused. It keeps you on the path God has laid out for you. Think of an eagle. It doesn't nest in the flock. It soars alone. It hunts alone. It raises its young alone. Its strength is honed in its solitude. Its vision is sharpened by its detachment. The warrior mantle is not for the easily swayed. It is for the one who can stand firm, even when the ground beneath them trembles, even when the world tells them to turn back. This isolation is where that firmness is cultivated, where that courage is forged. It is where you learn to hear the heartbeat of Goliath, in the quiet, in the stillness, in the profound embrace of his presence. This is not a punishment. It is a privilege, a sacred invitation, to be set apart, to be prepared, to carry the anointing, to become the warrior you were created to be. The wilderness is not the end. It is the beginning of your ascent. Embrace the solitude, for in it you will find your power. You will find your purpose. You will find your God. The silence. It's not empty. It's a sanctuary, a crucible, a divine isolation. They call it loneliness. They call it abandonment. They see an empty room, a deserted path, a solitary mountain peak. But you carry a different vision. You understand the sacredness of being set apart. This isn't a punishment. It is a profound protection. Think of the ark, not the one that sailed the seas, the one Noah built. It was isolated, separated from the chaos, from the drowning world. The rain beat down, the waters raged, but inside there was a stillness, a covenant, a promise held safe. Your divine isolation is that ark. It shields you from the tempests of the world, the clamor of compromise, the seduction of the crowd, the whispers of doubt that seek to drown your spirit. It's the shepherd boy David, alone in the wilderness. No armies at his back, no cheering throngs, just the bleating sheep, the vast indifferent sky, and the lion, the bear. His solitude forged his courage. His isolation sharpened his senses. He learned to listen to a different voice, the voice of the divine, that quiet whisper that no one else could hear. When you are set apart, your ears are cleared. The noise of the world fades, and you begin to hear the music of eternity, the heartbeat of God. It's in that quiet space that his strategy unfolds, his blueprint for your life, his purpose etched in starlight. Consider the sculptor. He takes a raw block of marble. It's large. It's imposing. He doesn't work in a busy marketplace. He finds a quiet studio. He chips away, slowly, deliberately. He removes what is not essential, what is extraneous, what would obscure the masterpiece within. Your divine isolation is that studio. God is the sculptor. You are the marble. He is meticulously removing the excess, the distractions, the false identities, the things that keep you from revealing the true image, the image he designed. This separation is not about being excluded. It's about being consecrated, set apart for a sacred task, like the high priest. He entered the Holy of Holies, behind the veil, in a place no one else could tread. It was a place of ultimate isolation and ultimate connection to the very presence of God. When you feel the sting of solitude, remember that veil. You are not being shut out. You are being invited into a deeper fellowship, a more intimate communion, a place where the Father can speak directly to your soul, without interruption, without dilution. The world pushes you to conform, to blend in, to be another brick in the wall. But your divine isolation is the chisel. It breaks you free from the mold. It carves you into something unique, something with sharp edges, something with a defined purpose. It's the Desert Fathers. They fled the comforts of the city. They sought the barren wasteland, not for penance alone, but for clarity, for unadulterated truth. The desert strips away illusions. It reveals what is real, what is eternal. They found God in the emptiness. They found power in the silence. Your isolation is your proving ground. It's where your faith is tested and tempered like steel. It's where your obedience is refined, not to man, but to the one who called you out, who called you to this sacred solitude. This isn't a place of weakness. It is a place of hidden strength, a reservoir of power, a launching pad for your destiny. When you are alone with God, you are never truly alone. You are in the most powerful company imaginable, the company of the Creator. So embrace the quiet. Welcome the stillness. See the isolation not as a cage, but as a cocoon, a sacred space where transformation occurs, where the King David anointing takes root and prepares you for the roar, for the battle, for the dominion that awaits. This divine isolation is your armor, your training ground, your sacred inheritance. It is the place where your true power is unlocked, where you become the warrior He has called you to be. Unwavering, unstoppable, divine isolation, a paradox for the soul. It feels like being cast out, a lonely shore. But look closer. See the shepherd boy, David, alone in the fields, his flock, his world. No earthly king to guide him, no army to protect him. Just the wind, the stars, and a God who saw his heart. This aloneness isn't abandonment. It's a crucible, a sacred space forged in the silence, where the raw material of your spirit is refined, where whispers become roars, where doubt is burned away, leaving only the pure, unadulterated essence of your divine purpose. Think of a sculptor, the raw marble, rough, unformed. It must be chipped away, piece by piece, the excess removed, the true form revealed. This isolation is the sculptor's chisel. It carves out the excess, the distractions, the noise of the world that muffles the divine voice. It exposes the magnificent statue within you, the one God intended. It's the eagle in its nest, pushed from the comfort, forced to stretch its wings, to learn the currents of the air, not a cruelty, but the necessary act of birthing flight. Your divine isolation is that push, that invitation to discover the strength you never knew you possessed, to master the winds of adversity, to soar to heights unseen. When you are set apart, the world's expectations fade. Their judgments lose their sting. Their applause becomes irrelevant. You are no longer performing for an audience of mortals. You are dancing with the divine. Your steps guided by an unseen hand. Your music a symphony only your soul can truly hear. This separation is a shield. The enemy thrives in the crowded marketplace, in the chaos of competing desires, in the noise that drowns out truth. But in the quietude and the sacred solitude, the enemy's whispers are silenced. His illusions shatter. His power wanes. You are cloaked in a peace that the world cannot comprehend. It's the mountain peak, remote, breathtaking, accessible only to those willing to endure the climb. The air is thin, the winds are fierce, but the view, oh, the view is eternal. From that vantage point, the valleys of confusion shrink. The storms below appear manageable. You see the grand design, the overarching purpose. This divine isolation is the furnace where faith is tempered, where loyalty is tested, where obedience is forged not from obligation, but from an unshakable love. It's where you learn to trust the unseen, to lean into the unknown, to believe in the promise whispered in the deepest parts of your being. Consider the desert fathers, the hermits. They sought not suffering but proximity. They retreated from the world to draw nearer to God. Their isolation was a deliberate act of worship, a radical surrender. They found not emptiness but fullness, a divine communion that transcended all earthly comforts. Your journey may feel arduous. The path may seem to lead nowhere, but every step in this divine isolation is a step closer to your true north. It's a recalibration of your spirit, a realignment with the divine blueprint. You are being stripped of the superficial, polished, prepared. This is the warrior's preparation. Before the battle, there is often a period of intense training, of solitude, of focus. David, before he faced Goliath, was a shepherd, alone, practicing his craft, perfecting his skill. His isolation was his training ground, his divine internship. And so it is with you. This season of being set apart is not a punishment. It is a privilege, a sacred assignment. It is God's way of shielding you from the fray, of sharpening your focus, of preparing you for the battles that only you are destined to win. It is the quiet before the glorious roar, the stillness before the divine eruption. Embrace it, for in this divine isolation, your true strength is revealed, and your kingly anointing is made manifest. The mantle, it's not given, it's earned. You feel it, that ache, that burning in your soul. It's the call, the divine assignment, your spiritual mission. It's been etched into your DNA since before time. You think it's a coincidence. This struggle, this relentless push against the current, no. It's preparation, forging. The crucible is where the steel is made, where the warrior is born. Remember the darkness, not the absence of light, the presence of something else, something primal, something that tests you, that strips you bare, that shows you what you're truly made of. It's in those moments when hope flickers, when the ground beneath you crumbles. That's when the power ignites, the inner strength you never knew you possessed. It's not external, it's deep within, a reservoir of resilience, a wellspring of courage. King David, he knew this fire. He walked through the shadows, faced down giants, not with brute force alone, but with a spirit that refused to break, a faith that burned brighter than any fear. He understood the mission, the sacred duty, and so do you. That same fire courses through your veins, that same anointing. It's a heavy burden, but it's also your greatest gift. The power to overcome, to conquer, to rise above. This mission isn't about comfort. It's about impact, about leaving your mark, about shifting the very fabric of reality. It demands everything. Your sweat, your tears, your unwavering commitment. The darkness has a purpose. It refines you. It hones your senses. It teaches you to see beyond the visible, to hear the whispers of the divine, to trust the compass of your spirit. Every scar tells a story, every setback a lesson. They are the markers on your path, the testament to your journey. Proof that you are not just surviving, you are transforming. This is not a passive existence. This is an active engagement, a fierce battle for the souls of men, for the future of what is good and true. You are the vanguard, the shield, the sword. Feel the weight of it, the responsibility. It's immense. But you are not alone. You are connected to a lineage of warriors, to a divine force that empowers you. The anointing isn't about protection from hardship. It's about empowerment through hardship. It's the divine fuel for your soul's fire, the strength to endure, the wisdom to navigate, the courage to lead. You were chosen, not for ease, but for impact, for the extraordinary, for the impossible. Your spiritual mission is your destiny, and your destiny is to wield this power, this rare, potent anointing. Embrace the fight, embrace the struggle, embrace the darkness, for within it lies the seed of your greatest power, the heart of your spiritual mission, the very essence of the warrior's mantle you carry. This is your time to rise, to shine, to conquer. The world is waiting for the manifestation of your anointing, for the warrior spirit that has been forged in the fire, for the divine purpose that burns within you. This is the warrior's mantle, yours to bear. It's not a choice. It's a calling, a sacred trust, forged in the crucible of your spirit. Where the fires of adversity burn hottest, you feel it now, this pull, this undeniable purpose. It echoes the ancient song of David, the shepherd boy, the king, the warrior. He knew the wilderness, the loneliness, the roar of the unseen enemy. He faced the giant, not with armor, not with legions, but with faith and a sling. That same raw, untamed power resides in you. It's the spiritual mission, the divine assignment, whispered in the quiet moments, shouted in the storm. You were not built for comfort. You were built for the fight, for the breakthrough, for the spiritual warfare that rages unseen. The darkness you've navigated, the valleys you've traversed, they weren't punishments. They were preparations, laboratories of the soul, where your inner strength was tested, tempered, and transformed. Think back to the nights that felt endless, the moments you questioned everything, your resilience, your purpose, your very existence. Those were the forging fires, the hammer blows shaping you, making you into something more, something stronger. The anointing of David wasn't just for kings. It was for those who dared to stand when others fled, for those who saw the impossible and refused to back down. It's the courage that rises when fear screams, the unwavering conviction that anchors you when the ground shakes. This mantle you wear, it's heavy, yes, but it's also your shield, your sword, your divine empowerment. It grants you access to a power beyond your own comprehension, a power that has seen empires rise and fall, a power that has moved mountains. This spiritual mission isn't about glory, it's about service, about bearing witness, about bringing light into the shadows. It's about fighting for what matters, for the truth, for the vulnerable, for the very soul of humanity. You are a vessel, a conduit, for a power that transcends the physical realm. The battles you fight are not always with flesh and blood. They are with principalities, with powers, with the forces that seek to dim the light, to crush the spirit. And you have been chosen, not because you are perfect, but because you are willing to descend into the darkness, to confront the demons, to emerge not unscathed but unbroken. The scars you carry are not weaknesses. They are testaments, proof of your endurance, of your refusal to surrender. Each trial has refined your spirit, sharpened your discernment, and deepened your connection to the divine. This is the essence of the warrior's mantle. It's the understanding that true strength is born in adversity, that the greatest victories are won in the silence of your own heart before the world ever sees them. It's the anointing that says, "I will not be moved." It's the fire that burns within, ignited by purpose, fueled by faith. You are not just surviving. You are leading. You are pioneering. You are a spiritual warrior, carrying a legacy, a mission, an anointing that is rare and profoundly powerful. This is your birthright, a mantle passed down through ages. You were chosen, not by chance, but by divine design, to carry the warrior's spirit, the spirit of King David. His anointing, it flows through you, through a rare, potent force. You feel it, a stirring within, a whisper of destiny. But this path is not for the faint of heart. It is carved through fire and forged in the deepest shadows. You have walked through darkness. You have stared into the abyss, and you did not break. That is where the power is born, in the crucible of your trials. When all hope seemed lost, when the world closed in, that is when your true strength awakened. You learned to fight, not with brute force, but with an unyielding spirit, a faith that burns brighter than any flame. This is your spiritual mission, to rise above the chaos, to be a beacon in the storm, to carry the light into the darkest corners of the earth. This anointing is not a gift to be hoarded. It is a power to be wielded, a responsibility to be embraced. You are a warrior, a shepherd of souls, a king in the making. The darkness you have endured has not defeated you. It has refined you. It has stripped away the pretense, leaving only the raw, unadulterated essence of your being. You learned resilience. You learned endurance. You learned that even in defeat, there is victory. The victory of continuing. The victory of refusing to surrender. This is the anointing of David, the shepherd boy who faced a giant, the king who commanded armies, the man after God's own heart. He understood the weight of the mantle. He understood the cost of leadership. He knew that true power comes from within, from a deep well of courage, from an unwavering belief in something greater. You have that same belief. It is the fire in your belly, the thunder in your soul. You were meant for this. Every scar you bear, every tear you have shed, they are not marks of weakness. They are proof of your strength, proof of your ability to overcome, to rise again stronger than before. This spiritual mission demands everything, your passion, your very life force, but it also offers everything, a purpose that transcends the ordinary, a connection to the divine, a legacy that will echo through eternity. You are not just a participant, you are an instrument, an agent of change, a conduit for divine power. The enemy whispers doubts. They try to extinguish your flame, but they underestimate the fire within you. They do not understand the strength forged in the darkness. You carry the spirit of a lion, protective, unstoppable. When you step into your anointing, when you fully embrace this mantle, the world will tremble, not in fear, but in awe. They will see the reflection of God's power in you, the power that can shatter chains, the power that can mend broken hearts, the power that can bring light to the deepest despair. This is not a metaphor. This is your reality. You have been prepared. You have been tested. Now, it is time to step into your calling, to unleash the warrior within, to carry the King David anointing with honor, with courage, with an unshakable resolve. The mission awaits. Your spiritual destiny beckons. Embrace it. Become the warrior you were always meant to be. The darkness was not your end. It was your beginning. The proving ground, where the true soldier is made. You are that soldier. You are that warrior. You carry the King David mantle, and the world will know your name. Your impact will be felt. Your light will shine. The spiritual mission is yours. The mantle of the warrior. It's a heavy weight, a sacred trust, not for the faint of heart. It's the anointing of King David, rare, powerful, passed down through generations. You feel it now, a stirring deep within, a call to something more, a purpose etched into your very soul. This is your spiritual mission. It's not about glory, not about recognition. It's about facing the shadows, confronting the darkness, not just in the world, but within yourself. That's where the real battle lies. Think of David, a shepherd boy, anointed king. His journey was not easy. It was forged in trials, in the wilderness, in the face of overwhelming odds. He knew fear, he knew doubt, but he also knew a power that transcended it all. That same power resides in you. It's been lying dormant, waiting for the right moment, waiting for you to embrace the struggle, to embrace the pain. For in the crucible of suffering, true strength is born. The darkness you face is not your enemy. It is your forge. It is where your spirit is tempered, where your resolve is hardened, where your faith is tested and refined. Don't run from it. Lean into it. Each scar tells a story. Each setback is a lesson. Each moment of despair is an opportunity for revelation. The deeper the darkness, the brighter your inner light will shine. You learn to see in the blackness, to navigate the unknown, to trust your instincts. This is the warrior's path. It demands courage. It demands resilience. It demands an unwavering commitment to your truth, to your purpose. Even when the world tells you to give up, even when you feel utterly alone, you are not alone. The anointing of David is a spiritual lineage, a connection to all who have walked this path before you. They whisper encouragement in the wind. They stand with you in the shadows. Your mission is to bring light to the darkness, to push back the forces that seek to divide and destroy, to stand as a beacon of hope, a shield against despair. But you cannot do that if you have not faced your own inner demons, if you have not wrestled with your own shadows. The warrior mantle is not given. It is earned. It is earned in the silent battles. In the moments when you choose to rise, even when you feel broken. It is earned when you offer compassion, even when you have been wounded. It is earned when you fight for justice, even when the odds are stacked against you. This is the sacred art of spiritual warfare. It is fought with integrity, with love, with an unshakable belief in the divine. It is about reclaiming your power, your sovereignty, your birthright as a child of the Most High. The darkness will test you. It will try to break you. But remember David. Remember his courage. Remember his faith. He faced giants. He faced kings. He faced his own failings. And he emerged victorious. You will too. The wounds you carry are not signs of weakness. They are testament to your strength, to your perseverance. They are the markings of a true warrior. The spiritual mission calls you. It demands your all. It asks for your surrender, not to defeat, but to a higher purpose, to a power greater than yourself. Embrace the mantle. Embrace the struggle. Embrace the anointing. Your time is now. The world needs your light. The world needs your strength. The world needs your warrior spirit. Rise. This is not about a crown. It's about a mantle of fierce protection, a mantle of unwavering faith, a mantle forged in the crucible of conflict. King David, the shepherd boy, the giant slayer, the king. His story echoes through time. It's a story of destiny, a story of divine appointment, and it's your story too. You carry his anointing, a rare spiritual gift, a potent force within you. It wasn't given lightly, it was earned in the quiet of the hills, earned in the roar of battle, earned in the depths of despair. This is the warrior mantle. It's woven from the threads of your trials. Each scar, a testament to your strength. Each tear, a prayer answered. Each moment of doubt, overcome a victory claimed. You were chosen, not for ease, but for purpose. A spiritual mission. It calls to you. It burns within you. It demands everything, and you will give it, because you understand. You understand that true power is not found in comfort. It's cultivated in the darkness. The darkness, it's where the shadows gather. It's where fear whispers lies. It's where the enemy seeks to break you. But for you, the darkness is a training ground. It's where you learn to see without light, to hear beyond the noise, to feel the pulse of God in the deepest night. It's where your spirit was refined, burnished like steel. Think of the lion. It doesn't shy away from the hunt. It thrives in the wild. It embraces the challenge. It knows its strength. You are that lion. Your spiritual mission is not a gentle stroll. It's a relentless pursuit, a sacred charge. You are a guardian, a warrior for the unseen realm. You stand against forces that would steal hope, that would crush dreams, that would sever the connection to the divine. And you do it with the heart of a shepherd. Fierce, protective, loving. You tend to the vulnerable. You defend the weak. You roar against injustice. This anointing makes you a target. The enemy knows your potential. They fear your light. They will throw everything they have at you. Doubt will flood your mind. Despair will try to grip your soul. Loneliness will gnaw at your edges. But you are prepared. The darkness taught you resilience. It taught you perseverance. It taught you that even when you fall, you can rise again. Stronger, wiser, more determined. David faced Goliath. He faced betrayal. He faced his own failures. Yet he never surrendered his spirit. He clung to his faith. He trusted the anointing. You too will face your giants. They will loom large. They will seem insurmountable. They will test the very core of your being. But remember the shepherd boy. Remember the king. Remember the anointing that flows through you. It's a river of divine power. It's an unshakable foundation. When the world feels overwhelming, when the darkness presses in, when you question your path, hear the echo of David's courage. Feel the surge of his faith. You are not alone in this fight. You are equipped. You are empowered. You are called. This warrior mantle, it's heavy, but you were made to bear it. It's a burden of honor, a privilege of purpose. Embrace the darkness. Learn from it. Grow from it. Let it forge you into the warrior you were destined to be. Your spiritual mission awaits. The world needs your light. Your anointing is the key. Unlock its power. Unleash your strength. Fight the good fight. Win the war. This is your mission. It's not a suggestion. It's a divine mandate carved into your soul. Before time began, you were chosen for this fight, for this purpose, to carry a mantle, a sacred burden, the warrior mantle of King David, a rare spiritual anointing. Not for the faint of heart. This power isn't given. It's forged in the crucible of your own war, your personal darkness, the shadows you've wrestled with, the battles fought in silence. These are not failures. They are training grounds where your spiritual muscles grow, where your resolve hardens, where your faith is tested and refined like gold. The night is your ally, the despair your teacher in the deepest valleys. You learn to see the stars. You discover a strength you never knew you possessed. This is where the anointing takes root, not in comfort, not in ease, but in the relentless pursuit of truth, in the courage to face your own demons and to rise above them. King David knew this intimately. He faced lions, he faced giants, he faced betrayal, he faced his own profound mistakes, yet he never surrendered. He cried out, he confessed, but he always got back up. That's the essence of this anointing. It's the resilience, the unwavering spirit, the deep well of courage that springs forth when all seems lost. You carry this within you, this seed of divine power, waiting to be unleashed. Your spiritual mission is not about avoiding hardship. It's about navigating it with fierce grace, with unyielding hope. It's about understanding that the trials you endure, the pain you absorb, the sacrifices you make, they are not random acts of fate. They are orchestrated to equip you, to prepare you, to make you worthy of the task ahead. The enemy doesn't fear your comfort. They fear your transformation. They fear the warrior that emerges from the ashes of your struggle. They fear the light you carry, a light ignited by overcoming, by pushing past your perceived limits, by choosing faith over fear, over and over again. This is the power of the darkness. It reveals what lies beneath the surface. It strips away the pretense and exposes the raw, unadulterated core of your being. Your spiritual mission demands that you embrace this process, that you stop running from your past and start using it as fuel. Every scar is a testament. Every setback a setup for a comeback. The anointing you carry is a promise that you are more than your circumstances. You are divinely equipped to face the impossible, to stand firm when others fall, to be a beacon of hope in the storm. This warrior mantle is heavy, but you were made to bear it. Your inner power isn't a gift bestowed. It's a treasure unearthed through the relentless excavation of your soul, through the courage to look into the abyss and to declare even in the darkest hour, I will not break. I will not yield. My spirit is stronger than this night, and I will rise. This is your awakening. This is your destiny. Embrace the fight. Embrace the power. Embrace the warrior within. Your mission awaits. The mantle of the warrior. It's not a choice. It's a calling. A destiny etched into your very soul. You carry it. You were born for this fight. Look at David, a shepherd boy, unlikely hero, yet anointed, chosen. His life a testament to a power forged in the crucible of hardship. He faced lions, he faced bears, he faced Goliath, all before his kingly reign. This isn't about earthly battles. It's about the war within, the spiritual war, the one that rages in the silent hours, the one that tests your faith, your resolve, your very being. You too have faced your giants, your own roaring lions, your own crushing bears, moments that threatened to devour you, moments that pushed you to the brink. These weren't random encounters. They were the forging process, the shaping of your spirit, the darkness you've endured. It wasn't meant to break you. It was meant to reveal you, to strip away the superficial, to expose the core of your strength, the resilience you never knew you possessed. Think of the nights you wrestled with doubt, the shadows that whispered lies, the fear that clawed at your throat. In those moments, a fire was ignited, a sacred ember. It's the anointing. It's the divine spark. This power doesn't come from comfort. It doesn't bloom in ease. It's born in the struggle. It's refined by adversity. It's the quiet strength that arises when all seems lost. You learn to trust your instincts, to lean on a power greater than yourself. You discovered that even in the deepest despair, a flicker of hope could sustain you. That flicker is now a flame, this spiritual mission. It's not a gentle path, it's a battlefield, and you are a warrior, not of flesh and blood, but of spirit and truth. Your weapons are faith, courage, and an unyielding conviction. The anointing you carry like David's is rare. It's a mantle woven from trials, from unwavering belief, from the willingness to stand when others fall. You understand the cost of true victory. It's not measured in applause. It's measured in the battles won within. The demons vanquished, the spirit purified. This inner power developed in the darkness is your greatest asset. It's the force that allows you to confront the impossible, to speak truth to power, to shine a light in the darkest corners. You are not defined by your past failures. You are defined by your refusal to surrender, by your capacity to rise again and again. David's anointing was a precursor to his destiny. Yours is a signpost to yours, the purpose for which you were chosen, the sacred work you are meant to do. Embrace the warrior within. Acknowledge the strength forged in the fire. This is your heritage. This is your power. This is your anointing. The spiritual mission awaits, and you, warrior, are ready. You have been prepared. You have been tested. You have been anointed. The darkness did not conquer you. It revealed the light you carry. A light that can pierce any shadow. A light that can guide others through their own trials. This is the essence of the warrior mantle. It is the understanding that true strength is born in vulnerability. That courage is not the absence of fear, but the mastery of it. David the shepherd, David the king. His story echoes in your spirit, a reminder of the extraordinary potential that lies within the ordinary. Within you. You've walked through valleys. You've scaled mountains, each step a lesson, each challenge a refinement. This anointing isn't passive. It demands action. It calls for courage. It requires you to step into your divine purpose. The spiritual war is ongoing,